The storyboarding exercise is really helpful if you've already done previous exercises from Lift Kit. So make sure you try to do some sort of a round robin or sketching or ideation before you get to this step, because you're going to take the idea you initially had and ideally a scenario or a mini flow, like a three-step flow you've built, and kind of expand on it further. So if you talk about a feature like onboarding, there's all kinds of stuff that falls into that flow for onboarding. There are definitely edge cases to things like this, but you really want to kind of map out the happy path. That's the goal of storyboarding, is to think even more deeply about the flow someone takes. So to fill this out, it's kind of like just creating a comic strip. You'll start left to right and then go down to the next row and fill in the rest. You can edit these titles to create your steps. One helpful thing is if you've done the scenario worksheet before this, you can take the three cards that you've already created, like the three steps, and put them in the beginning, the middle, somewhere around here, and the last one in the end step. And then you're really just filling in the rest of the boards to kind of flesh out more of that flow. So if you, on the last exercise and scenarios, you build a little onboarding flow where someone visits the website, they enter their credit card info, and they sign up and purchase. In the middle here, you want to say, you want to add more pieces to that story, like they view a product demo, they can see how the product works, or they can see a set of value prop items for why this is valuable for them in the role they're in to use your product. Then they go to the checkout page or add it to their cart. Once they add it to their cart, they can maybe save it for later or leave now or get an email follow up if they haven't purchased. Then they come back in later and they can finish their checkout process and get their onboarding materials or their first download their first version of your product or whatever. So you want to build a full story here. Make sure you put some notes. If you're not a good sketcher, it's not a big deal. You can draw boxes and arrows, or you can just put text in these boxes, or just sticky notes. But you want to. The goal here is to think about the flow, not necessarily to create perfect art, perfect pictures. The reason you build a storyboard is to use it further in the design process, so that you can actually build out a full feature. So you can think about all the details that matter in whether that's like error states, the ability for people to time shift and come back later, how you basically get someone to the end goal or outcome you're trying to achieve.